The envelope was from someone Alex hadn't spoken to in years, his old music professor, Mr. Langley. Inside was a short, handwritten note. Talent doesn't expire. Dreams only die if you let them. Trust me, it's not over yet. Submit something for the Rising Star Talent Competition. Deadline, 2 weeks. He let out a bitter laugh. Not over. You don't know my life now. Still, something in the words tugged at him. That night, unable to sleep, he pulled his guitar out for the first time in 2 years. The strings felt foreign under his fingers, the way joy once felt foreign in his life. As he strummed tentatively, snippets of old choruses and long-forgotten melodies bubbled up from somewhere deep within. But a voice, his own inner critic, quickly interrupted. "You're too far gone. You don't deserve this anymore." Alex put the guitar away again. The doubts and wounds of the past closed over him, heavy as chains. 2 days passed, and Alex found ways to distract himself, convincing himself that submitting a song, or even trying, was insane. But then, while on his break at the diner, he overheard a young girl at the counter talking to her mother about participating in a local talent show, her face alight with eager excitement. That naive hope hit Alex like a lightning bolt. And in that moment, he realized he'd lost something far more important than his career. He'd lost the belief in trying, in himself. That evening, he picked up his guitar again. This time, he didn't let his inner critic interrupt. He wrote, pouring every ounce of heartbreak and resilience into a song. The theme was clear: rebuilding yourself from the shattered pieces. With trembling hands, he recorded himself playing it on a borrowed phone and sent the file to the competition email, not expecting anything in return. But then, the miracle came. A congratulatory email. He was one of the finalists, invited to perform live in front of a panel of judges and an audience. What have I done? Alex thought. The self-doubt came roaring back, louder than ever. As he stood backstage on the evening of the competition, staring down at his shaking hands, he almost walked out. But then he saw someone in the audience who looked very familiar. Mr. Langley. Their gazes met. The old professor didn't offer a wave or a cheer, just a small, knowing nod. It was enough. Taking a deep breath, Alex stepped out onto the stage. The spotlight was blinding, the audience a faceless blur. But then he strummed his guitar, and the first notes filled the air. His voice wavered at first, but slowly gained strength as he reminded himself he wasn't performing to win applause. This was for him, for the piece of himself he thought he'd lost, but had only been temporarily buried beneath the wreckage of his doubts. The song ended too soon. The final chord, hanging in the air like the last heartbeat of a dream, finally realized. Silence followed, just for a moment. Then the applause came, a wave that crashed over him. Tears blurred his vision as he bowed, shaking but whole. The judges didn't just enjoy his performance. They awarded him the grand prize, a contract with a small but prestigious label. Yet even more meaningful than the prize was Alex's rediscovery of a truth he had long forgotten. Failure only defines you if you let it. That night, he sat in his apartment, staring at his battered guitar. It wasn't just an instrument. It was a symbol of resilience, of defiance in the face of defeat. This wasn't the end of his story, only the beginning. Every note he played from that point on would not just be music, but a declaration. I am still here. Remember, the darkest chapters of our lives are often the bridges to our brightest moments. You are never too broken to rebuild. So what's that dream you've locked away? What's that guitar in the corner collecting dust? Pick it up. Trust yourself. Your next chapter is waiting. Don't let it pass you by.